welcome to the Yarnandewegirl podcast. I'm Janine, also known as Yarnandewegirl, and this is my channel where I talk about all the crafty things I'm getting involved in, mostly knitting, but occasionally some crochet, cross stitch, sewing. It just depends on whatever mood I'm in, but I'm always in the mood for knitting. So I hope that that's what you're here for. Thank you so much for joining me. Today is February 25th, and it's a Monday. I'm quite bundled up because it decided that it was going to snow today. I know last episode I was talking to you guys about how they were predicting all this snow in my area. Well, we didn't get anything. Like maybe a dusting of 1/4 inch, maybe. And then they shut down all these things for the weekend activities. So we had a lot of stuff that was canceled and it didn't really need to be canceled. Well, last night it started to snow here, and I would say we got maybe a good inch or inch and a half, but it didn't really stick very well on the roads, and it wasn't cold enough to ice over the roads, and so they didn't call even a 2-hour late start for my kids or call school at all. So my kids were really disappointed because they felt like they overreact for certain things, and then they didn't react at all to this one. But the roads were fine. We had no trouble getting out whatsoever. So anyway, it was pretty cold though. So I was out, you know, scraping the window and just all bundled up. It's so nice to have all the hand knits, definitely on days like this. So yeah, that's what why I'm all like cozied up. I am wearing my Kobuck hat. This is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. It is a DK weight yarn done with, held double with some mohair, or I think mine is mohair silk, maybe. I think I used, Jubilee, the kids silk, mohair light, whatever, I don't know, something like that. And then the main color was a Malabrigo yarn that I had, a Malabrigo Rios yarn that I had. And then I just have like this lovely little, you know, pom-pom on the top. I love it. I love baubles. Anything with baubles I totally love. So that's what the hat is, if you're wondering. The cowl is my pattern, my Marielle Brioche cowl. It is a brioche tube cowl. It can be done in multiple sizes, multiple weights, and this one I used Malabrigo, same color I did for the hat in the Rios, and Malabrigo worsted in, I want to say, oh gosh, it was eons ago that I bought this yarn, so I have no idea what this lovely turquoisey color is, but this is the large size, and this is done in I guess Rios is considered a worsted weight, so the large size, like I can loop it about 3 times around my neck. I've also done a cowl in one of these cowls in a bulky weight yarn, where I used Lorna's Laces Shepherd Bulky, and I used 1 skein of each in just the small version, and it's a perfect like loose tube or turtle style cowl if that's what you're into, if you don't want to wrap it. I sometimes like to have all the wraps around my neck just because I feel extra warm when I have that, and I need extra warm a lot of times. But this is a pattern I put out last year, and it is available on Ravelry. It's called the Marielle Brioche cowl. And yeah, I do a couple tutorials on how to do the increases and decreases. If you're interested in that, that is available on in my Ravelry store. If you want to find me on Ravelry, I am Yarnandewegirl. I am on Instagram as Yarnandew. I am rarely on Facebook, but it is Yarnandew over there, but I don't really check it very often. It's not the best way to get a hold of me. So if you do need to get a hold of me, Instagram is the best way, or Ravelry, because I do check those platforms quite often. So let's see. I have so much to tell you guys. So I had a birthday yesterday. I turned 42 yesterday. Very you know, not such a busy, fun day, the actual birthday, but my husband surprised me the week before. So this last weekend on my birthday, I had to work, and usually I make it a point never to work on my birthday because I don't think that you should have to work on your birthday. But because I have the Sew Expo this upcoming weekend in Puyallup, I needed to work my regular job this weekend, and it happened to fall on my birthday. So last weekend, he surprised me and invited all the family over and brought a cake and everything. And we had a little party on Saturday night. And then his mom stayed the night. And I just thought she'd stayed the night because it was late when she was going to leave. And she doesn't like to drive in the dark. And so I was thinking, well, that's not, you know, unusual at all. Well, in the morning, he woke me up and told me we were going to the Madrona Fiber Festival for the day. So that was so fun. So I have lots to talk about with the Madrona Fiber Festival. I got I got to shop in the little marketplace. We went to get coffee and food at a little restaurant around the corner. And it was just so nice. I met some really great people. And yeah, I'll definitely go over that section, that little trip with you guys toward the end when I talk more about the acquisitions and the things that I got there at Madrona. It was really nice though, and I ran into a podcast viewer. It was so much fun. So that was very cool. Anyway, for my birthday though, my dad, I have told you guys that he wanted me to reteach him how to crochet. And so I did. He already knew how. A long time ago, he had made Afghans and blankets, and he was very talented. He just hadn't done it in probably 40 years. So he asked me to help him out. It helps kind of keep him, he has to be with my mom a lot now because she is having, you know, she has memory issues and is struggling a lot and doesn't want to be left, can't really be left alone, because if you leave her alone, she, you know, worries and then gets angry because she thinks that nobody told her where, you know, they were going or anything like that. So he needed something to keep him sane, basically, while he had to stay at the house, because he's so much of a, he's just a free spirit. He wants to travel. He likes to do his little cowboy shoots and goes out to the gun range, and he dresses up like a cowboy and does all these things, and he can't really do a lot of that, and he doesn't want to just sit around the house and do nothing and watch television all day long, because that's really kind of how my mother is content these days. So he asked me to teach him how to crochet, which I did, and I gave him all of my scraps from projects that I had been collecting, and he made a granny stripe scrappy blanket, and then he gave it to me for my birthday. And I almost cried, you guys. It was so sweet. I mean, I had told him, you know, jokingly, like a month or so ago, that I wanted it when he was done with it, or whatever, not to give it to Goodwill or anything like that, that I wanted it. And he wrapped it all up and put it in a bag and gave it to me. So this is that granny stripe blanket. And he did a little different combination of, some of it is from the Attic 24, I think. She does that free granny stripe crochet blanket. Some of it is that, but then others, it's just like single or double crochets just in a row, and so he alternated. He did a lot of marling, so he held yarns double, and you can see like his techniques wasn't like perfect or anything. I mean, because look, the edges are a little bit wonky, but I do not care at all. I love it so much, and it just makes me so happy that he made this and then gave it to me. It was really sweet. So it's perfect. It's like heavy and cozy, and I've wanted one of these blankets for so long, but I got, if you guys have watched, you've seen, I got kind of maybe this thick on mine, and then got bored with it and seamed it together and made a cowl out of it. So it's really great to have this, and it's kind of like a walk down memory lane. I'm like looking at these yarns, and it's hard to tell sometimes, you know, where he might have marled some things, but like the edging is, oh, I have a pair of socks that I made in this yarn, and this like gray brown here I made a hat out of, and I remember where I got, you know, that's Madeline Tosh that I got when I was part of this Tosh club. And then this one right next to it is a DK base from, oh, what's she called? Oh, Long Dog Yarns, and I think it's her Parisian Mist colorway. It's like one of my favorite colors of hers. It's beautiful. And I have, you know, some, this is, Junk Yarn, her Wonder Woman colorway, and I have like some, you know, sparkly stuff in here. I have some Nomadic Yarns. I have all sorts of different stuff, and there's different ways. There's like, oh, here's some Ba La Jolla from my Zweig. Just really, really awesome, and so great that he gave that to me. So I love I can't even say enough about it. I just love this blanket so much. It's amazing, and I will always keep it because it's something that my dad gave to me. And yeah, very, very cool. So that was my birthday present from my mom and dad. Well, my dad mostly. You know, he's just going to town, and he made my sister one and gave my sister a blanket. It's not a granny stripe. It's another Afghan that I had an old, you know how you used to be able to go in, I don't know if you can still do this, but you used to be able to go into your local store, Joann's or whatever, and they might still have them, but they would have the pamphlets. It would be like a book of maybe 12 patterns of Afghans or Afghans through the year, and you'd have a different one for each month. And so I had a really old one of those, and I gave that booklet to him, and he made one of the blankets out of that booklet for my sister, for because I have a twin, so obviously she turned 42 yesterday as well. So that was really cool. I went over to pick my kids up from her house last night because she'd been watching the kids while Matt and I had worked over the weekend. And she had the blanket on her couch, and I just was really, really pleased that he had made her one as well, because yeah, it was just great. So very cool. But that's kind of in a nutshell what's been going on here. I don't have any finished objects, but I do have a half finished object and some works in progress that I want to get to showing you guys, and then acquisitions from Madrona. So I'll take a sip of my drink and we'll get right into it. I have my only like sort of finished object is a vanilla sock from my Regia Pairfect sock that I was making. Let me see if I can find the bag. Oh, so the first sock is here. I don't even have the ball band anymore, but this is what I have left to make the second sock. And it's one of their new patterns, so it's just striping. It doesn't actually pattern out, but I really, really like how it turned out. The fit's really nice, and I like the color a lot too. So I just cast on 64 stitches and knit a 1x1 cuff until I ran out of the cuff color, and then just switched to stockinette. And I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and I don't know, whatever you call a wedge toe. I don't even know if that's a term, but that's the toe that I did, and it's just your standard. So I kitchenered it this morning. I had it finished for probably a week now, but I hadn't kitchenered the stitches or woven in the ends yet. So I did that this morning before I got on the podcast, and now I have an official hoe. So I need to cast on for the second one. I used a US size 1, and I used my Addies. I used two 24-inch circulars. Where are they? So these are really like wonky, beat up Addies. I do still like, look at how crooked they are. I do still really enjoy working with them though, even though they're quite beat up. They can be a little bit gentler on my hands sometimes, and so yeah. And plus all my other like 40-inch cables were being used with some other projects and things like that. So I'm gonna stuff these back in the bag that the cake is in so that I can use the same needles to make the next set of socks. Because I've done that before, you guys. Even if they're the same size, your needles, if you pick like a different pair, sometimes the gauge is a little different on that pair, or the width is just slightly different. And I've ended up with 2 different size socks because, you know, one a little tighter, one a little, you know, maybe short, a teensy bit shorter, even though I did the same number of rows and the same amount of stitches. So really important to try to use the same needles. Oh shoot, there goes my drink. To try to use the same needles when you're making that second sock, so that you end up with exactly the same for matching. So that is my half-finished object. The second project I'm going to show you guys is housed in this new bag I got. I'm very excited about it. I don't know what made me, but I was wanting a new bag, one that was a little bit bigger, that could carry a sweater quantity. And I went on Etsy and I found Laughing Stitches. She's out of Juneau, Wisconsin, I think. And this is just a really cool bag. So it is a polka dot drawstring up here, but then it also has this, maybe she was posting it on Etsy or Instagram or something, which is why I saw it. But it has these handles, and then it has pockets here in the front for you to keep things, and then pockets on the inside as well, which I really, really liked. And then she's got like her little handmade by Laughing Stitches. So really great bag. Very well done. The workmanship on this is so nice. The metal grommets that she uses to hold these in place. I know this is going to get so dirty though. I'm going to have to be really careful with it because it's such a light color, but I really like it, and it's a good size for holding my sweaters as they get a little bit bigger. So I just recently purchased that. It was kind of my birthday present to myself, and I am finishing up my, I guess I don't really have a name for this sweater yet, but it's my new design that I'm using, Brooklyn Tweed Loft, in the color, excuse me, frog. Let me take another drink. Unicorn cup. I love my unicorn cup. Okay. It is Loft in the Tartan colorway. I have all the body done. One sleeve entirely done. I have all this yarn stuck to it. And one sleeve almost done. I am so cruising on this. I just really want to get it done. I was hoping to get it finished today, but I don't think I'm going to have enough time because I'm packing up for the Sew Expo this week. But I need to pick up stitches. Once I get done here, I've got one full skein of yarn left. I should have plenty to finish the arm and then have a really nice, I want a cowl neck that, so sort of a turtle, you know, and it kind of folds down. So I want to have a really long neck that I need to do, and it'll be in a 1x1 rib. So this is almost done, and it fits really, really nicely. I'm very, very excited about this. So hopefully once this is, you know, off the needles, I'll get it blocked. After the Sew Expo, I'll start working on grading it for other sizes and stuff, and work on pattern write-up for it and get it out to testers. So very, very excited about this sweater, and I'm in love with Brooklyn Tweed, and I don't know, something about it lately. It's all all I'm knitting with. It seems like it's very rustic, but it's soft. Actually, I'm really surprised because it doesn't feel super soft in the skein, but I love it on my body. I love my Cooper Spur pullover that I did with it. I have plans for a pair of fingerless mitts that I'm gonna do. I had some leftovers with my Cooper Spur. I used like the sweatshirt colorway for that. I have some leftovers. I'm going to make a pair of fingerless gloves, and yeah, I'm really enjoying it. So that is to be named design by me. That's almost finished. It's so exciting, in my new Laughing Stitches bag. So I'm gonna put that aside. That is my, like I said, that is almost exclusively but what I've been working on. I have done a bit on my Vertices Unite, so let me find the right bag for that, because I'm switching color, you know, you use different colors, and so I have a couple bags, one bag like holding some of the colors and one bag holding the leftover, you know, the actual shawl. So last time I showed it to you guys, I just had wedge A. Well, I now have B and a little bit of C going on. So this is Vertices Unite by Stephen West, and I am just on this center wedge portion here and picking up along the edges. I am doing this, and the purple is Dog Star Yarns in the Snozberry colorway, and it's just this lovely purpley, little bit of red and blue hue to it in some spots. And then I have the other yarns are Hula Hut yarn, sea glass color, and I also have Hula Hut yarn, and this one is Apple Blossom, and this one is Mad Science yarn in Electromagnetic, and the last one is Junk yarn, and this is Jubilee, and this is one I got from a club. And yeah, so I'm enjoying this one a lot. I will be working, as soon as I'm done with the other sweater, I'm going to be working on this one. With the sweater, I'm going to be working on this more, because it is really kind of nice, mindless. You know, I mean, it does require a little bit of thought when you're picking up the side stitches and stuff, but it's pretty much, it's garter all the way. So it's not bad at all for thought requirements. I'm making the large size, and yeah, I really am liking it so far, and I can't wait to have it. I hope that it will look really, really cool when it's finished. So that's Vertices Unite. Oh, I've got fuzz on my lip, by Stephen West. And that's really all I've been working on. I have written up my pattern for my newest sock design, which is based off the Coveted hat, which there are still some Coveted hat kits in the shop. I am packing up quite a few extras to go to the show with me, and I will have printed patterns and a few different color combinations for that hat at the Sew Expo, and then anything that's left over I will bring and pop up in the shop when I'm done. And I'm thinking I might have the shop not really closed, excuse me, but I might have it, a notice on the shop that if you order something this upcoming week, it might not get mailed out right away. Usually most of my inventory is with me, so if I get an order, I can package it up and take it to the post office, but that's also kind of difficult with timing and stuff with the show, so I might have it so that it's just if you ordered something this from Wednesday to Sunday, that it might not mail out until the following Monday. So just so you guys know, I will definitely be trying to update the inventory as the show goes on. And sometimes that can affect things as well. You never know what's going to sell and what isn't. So I might close the shop down. I'm still thinking about it. I might just shut it down for the week. But I don't know. Most likely it'll be up and it'll say that if you're ordering something that you'll just need to be aware that it won't be shipped out until later. So that is what I have for my works in progress. I had been dyeing up a lot of yarn, so that's why I don't have a ton to show you guys. I feel like it's kind of lacking in the content department as far as works, but I do have a lot of acquisitions to share with you guys too. So I told you I bought myself that Laughing Stitches bag. Well, then for my birthday, my sister-in-law got me an Etsy gift card. So I went on and I purchased this wax canvas bag from Kitchen Clutter, and it is this army green waxed canvas with this soft orange like flannel on the inside. I've been eyeballing this one for a while. I love the orange and the green together, and I don't have a waxed canvas bag, so I don't know what I'm going to use for it. It's maybe big enough for like a shawl, a pair of socks, or mitts, but it's definitely not big enough for like a whole sweater, I don't think. It is quite like spacious in there, but it's not very deep. It's kind of short. So I think mostly it'll be a shawl bag or a sock bag, which most of the time I always have that. And yeah, I just love the inside plaid. And I was actually quite surprised that wax canvas, it's stiff, but not actually as stiff as I thought it would be. It's quite soft and it has a really nice feel to it. And I just want to like scrunch it up a lot to kind of give it that patina that comes with aged items like this. So I really, really like it though. So Kitchen Clutter on Etsy. She is out of Puyallup, I think. So just a little bit north, and actually where I'm going to be in the next week. So I've been looking at that, and I decided I would use my gift card from my sister-in-law to buy myself another project bag, because I really need all the project bags. Not really. I have a lot. I don't know why I need more, but you know, it's always fun. And then at Madrona, I stopped. There's maybe about 20 different vendors at Madrona. I went on Sunday, so I know there were a couple other podcasters who had gone earlier, maybe on the Saturday. I did not make it on Saturday. I didn't even know I was going. I wasn't even planning on going. But my husband surprised me, and he drove us up there. We had breakfast, and then we went to the hotel where the festival was happening and just shopped the marketplace. And they had a Brooklyn Tweed booth. So, and I wasn't wearing my sweater, and I wished that I was wearing my sweater, my Cooper Spur sweater. But I had brought my new design that I was working on, so I made sure to share with them. I met some really great people, a gentleman named Luigi and a gal named Jen, who are working the booth there, and they were so amazing. We talked about design. They gave me a lot of good information and good contact info for Brooklyn Tweed to see about getting involved with designing for them. You know, getting on the list for call for submissions and things like that. And then they gave me a 40% kind of like designer discount on yarn, sort of yarn support, so that I can design something else with their yarn as well. So I bought a sweaters quantity of Brooklyn Tweed in the shelter. And it's so funny because I bought the Loft the last couple times, and each time I bought it, I have bought it to make a sweater that somebody else had designed, and then every single time I end up designing something out of it for my own. So I bought some shelter, and I really want to make some cool sweater out of this. I went kind of outside my comfort zone with color. So this is not normally the color that I would go for, but I was just drawn to it. It's this green kind of with specks of yellow throughout and dark. And the color is Yellowstone. And I think I ended up getting 8 skeins of this. So I think it will look good. I don't usually go for this color, but I do like olivey green. I think olive green looks pretty good. I think it's a pretty good like neutral. So I have some major plans in the works for this. Like I said, I got 8 skeins of this, and I'm very excited. I was so just honored that they gave me the discount, that, you know, they were so kind and gave me all this information, and it's just great. It was just, they were really, really great to work with. And Luigi was having my husband try on some of the sweaters that they had for samples in the booth so he could see what they look like on a guy, because a lot of their stuff is designed by Jared Flood, so it's men's sweaters and things like that. I mean, they do obviously have lots of women's designs as well. But a lot of the ones that they had on display were ones that Luigi had knit from Jared Flood's designs. So he was having Matt try on all the sweaters and seeing how they looked on another guy beside himself. And that was kind of fun, because Matt was such a good sport. And it's not really his thing, but he's becoming more and more involved in it because he knows how much I love it, that he's asking more questions and, you know, wants to be a part of the business and wants to know, you know, all the ins and outs and the things that are going on. And I was just really, really happy that he wanted to go up with me. I told you guys last time I podcast how jealous I was that I didn't have somebody to like hang out with, knitting wise all the time. And maybe eventually I'll have my husband be my hangout buddy, because he was so great. And I didn't feel pressured when I was there with him to like get done, you know, super fast. Sometimes I feel like, you know, when, you know, somebody is not as excited about whatever it is that you're excited about, you kind of I don't want them to feel like they're being put out or anything, but I didn't feel like that. I felt like he was being a part of it, and that was really, really cool. So this is the color I picked, this Yellowstone color. I guess it's a new colorway, or newer colorway. And I'm very, very excited about this particular green and what is going to come of it in the future. It's down the pipeline, but so excited. And I've been wanting to knit with a design a sweater that's a little bit heavier weight than like my fingering weight ones that I've been doing forever. And then I stopped by the Knitted Wit booth, and I was drawn to this particular skein. Don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I loved the colors. It was like Tiger's Eye, but she called it Witherwings, and I happened to be re-listening to Harry Potter again for like the 40th time, and it just spoke to me. And so this is on her fingering, which is 100% superwash merino. She changed her logo too, which I really like the new logo. It's super cute. And this will probably just end up being a pair of socks, but I loved the color. I just loved the warmth of the oranges and the browns and the blacks in there. And I had a nice conversation with the dyer as well, so in that booth. So that was pretty cool to pick up that. She's from my area too, so it's funny because, I mean, I can get Brooklyn Tweed at any store. Well, there's a couple stores in the area that I can go to and actually buy Brooklyn Tweed, so I didn't really need to buy Brooklyn Tweed there. And I can go to a couple stores in the area and buy Knitted Wit, but it was nice to actually like go to their booth and meet some of the actual employees of the company, and or the dyer behind, you know, Knitted Wit, and chat with her and everything. And so that was really cool. And then let's see, I did end up getting a magazine. I had been looking for this magazine. I had seen a pattern. I think it was on Instagram. I follow like the hashtag sweater knitting. Sorry, my throat's getting really dry. I'm talking so fast. So I follow the sweater knitting hashtag, and so lots of different sweaters pop up on my Instagram feed. And one of them was the, what's it called? I don't even remember. So let me see if I can find it. Robusto, I think, maybe? Let's see. I don't even know, guys. Oh, here it is. At least there's the page. Okay. Arbusto by Rosa Pomar. And let me see if I can find the picture. I found the directions, but I don't need the directions. I need the picture. And it is in the... I went to Ravelry to try to purchase it, and it said it's in the Laine magazine number 6. And I couldn't buy it just by itself online. I had to find the magazine at a store. So I went to Starlight Knitting Society here in the area. They carry the magazine, but they were out of the volume 6. So I was like, oh darn, I guess I'll just have to wait. Or I was going to appeal to some of my viewers and see if anybody had a copy that they'd be willing to sell me. Well, it turns out I don't need to do that anymore because I found a copy at the Madrona Fiber Festival of Volume 6. So I was very excited because this is last season's like volume, and the newest one has already come out, which is Volume 7. But this is last season's, and there's a couple of amazing patterns in here that I didn't really realize were just available in this magazine. But this is the sweater in particular. It's Arbusto. It's a sweater with bobbles. It's bobbles all over. And I really, really liked it a lot, the one that I'd seen. It's knit in a DK weight yarn. And I thought, okay, I got some DK weight yarn. And I guess you knit it inside out. And so you have like this reverse stockinette on the front with the bobbles. It's just beautiful. Ah! You guys can see. So I really think that that might be one of the next sweaters I do that's not like my own design. And I have kind of lost interest a little bit in my Guthrie, so I might end up ripping that yarn out and using either the Mother May I color that I was using as the contrast, which is like a light purple, gray, pink, or the Mother May I is my DK weight yarn, or the My Farmer's Daughter in the Craigie Tweed olive oil colorway as the yarn for that. I think that I might end up having to go with the Farmer's Daughter one just because I think I have enough yarn for it in that. So that I think I'm going to cast on fairly soon and pull out my Guthrie. I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it, and I've decided that if it's not coming along, if I don't want to knit it and I'm interested in knitting other things, I'm not going to, and I'm going to rip it out and start again. Something new, and maybe down the line I'll want to knit that sweater again and I will do it. But right now I'm not feeling it. I don't want to be knitting things. Plus I have the problem with that one, I think, is I don't think it's going to be big enough. I kept looking at it. It looks teeny, and it's not like I'm a big person or anything. I'm a little person, but it's small, and I don't want to end up making the whole thing and then having to gift it away, which would be all right, but it's not the point. I wanted the sweater for myself. I didn't want it for somebody else. So anyway, that's that. I'll probably end up ripping it out. And then the other pattern that was in here that was amazing that I didn't realize that was in here was the sewed cardigan. You guys have probably seen this. It's been all over the internet. It's done in this bulky and I keep dropping the chart for it because it keeps falling out. But it's this lovely cable pattern and big collar. Just beautiful, beautiful. I think the yarn they used in the book was La Bien Amie in her bulky yarn. But it comes with this super big, you know, chart fold out thing. So I don't want to lose that because I think that might be, you know, the a blown up version so that you could actually see what the charts are, because in the book, I can't imagine, I mean, it's so much cabling, how, you know, they would have been able to put that together and everything. So I'm very excited about this. There's you know, a couple really pretty sweaters in here and shawls and great designs. There's some socks from Andrea Mowry that look pretty fun. So I'm looking forward to doing some of the projects out of this magazine. I have never bought the Laine magazine before, but I was excited to find that volume because of that Arbusto sweater. I really wanted that sweater. So that's kind of it today, guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. If you are going to be in the Puyallup area this upcoming week, Thursday through Sunday, I will be in booth 33 at the State Fairgrounds in the Sew Expo in the Showplex. So come by, say hi. I would love to chat with you. I would love to see all the things, you know, that you're making, and just meet more people from our community. So I would love to see you guys there. If you're going to be in the area, please stop by. It should be a fun show. There's going to be a couple different yarn vendors there, it looks like, this year. And so it's not just going to be me. There's going to be other stuff there. And last year it was a blast, and it was really busy the first, you know, the Thursday and that opening day and stuff. It was super, super busy and so much fun. So I'm looking forward to it again this year, and I'm looking forward to seeing everyone who decides they want to show up. Thanks again so much for watching. I'll get back to you guys in a couple weeks to share more, any adventures that I have. And in the meantime, happy making. Bye.